Hello, welcome back to Brand Sushi Live Nodding. In this episode, I will be sharing with you how to create this stipple artwork using Spreadshop Node 3 in Blender. So you might already guess this is Enterprise or Blender Guru. So this image is 300 by 300 pixels, so it's pretty small, but it's actually good enough to create this kind of image. And the nodes that's doing all the job is basically this populate surface. So this one is using Build. Okay, with the Build, it's sometimes can be slightly tricky to use, but once you understand how it works, it can be pretty powerful. So usually for nodes like surface, field, curves, and spatial, especially for fields, it should have the online help documentations. And I'm trying this image field for the last few days, and it should be pretty easy to use when you are using it with populate surface. Okay, so this node is doing like a stipple points. The dot points is not the same size, and I'm using this circle currently sets to number of vertices of 4. If I make it 12, it's gonna be circle now. So it's like a dot artwork, and I actually multiply this. So originally it's only like that small, so I just multiply it with a number. And I did a couple of things like evaluate scalar field. So this field, okay, let me explain first. The image field is gonna look at an image that you see earlier. So enterprise photo, and then I assign it to XY image plane, and then I'm using the luminosity value plug into populate surface, which also using this plane 300 by 300 unit size, and it's gonna stipple points. Okay, the resulting points is being used to instance circle. However, the image field itself have a scalar field because this orange color, the scalar field that can be evaluated, and from that value we can use it as the radius of the circle. Alright, so that's how I explain it. And it has a neat features such as you can randomize the seed. So it can be animated, kind of like noise that's running through the photo. And it has a couple of options, like, let me reduce the number first, and then let me explain. If I play around with the minimum distance, if I make the distance smaller, it's gonna be more scattered. However, if you increase the distance, like make it higher and higher, the dots will start to kind of distancing itself from each other. So it's a very interesting concept. I also recommend you to look at Snapdot app. This app has been there since 2005, if I'm not wrong, almost 10 years ago. It should be on Android or iOS as for today. Yeah, it allows you to create this kind of artwork. It's very cool. This is what I'm trying to create here in Blender. So if you increase the minimum distance, it's gonna be more distance from each other. The dot is gonna be spread apart. Okay. The threshold is doing what it does. So you can play around with this value between 0 and 1 until you find the one that you like. The photo itself, a good photo like this, this photo is pretty good, so it does its job. You can try using different photo. Yeah, it does the threshold, but it only works between 0 and 1. I wish it's more like spread. It's more like using the grayscale value. You can try playing around with red, green, blue. I believe I also have a photograph of this rhino, but this image is pretty big, so I'm gonna make it smaller and take a quick screenshot. So I should have now smaller photo. I can just drag and drop into Blender. Okay, this rhino is, let's check the size, 908 510. Okay, 908 510. So this resolution also will factor in to the result. Now this is the rhino that's been turned into this dots artwork. I can increase the number of points, 3000, and then I play around with the threshold and also the minimum distance. So let's try minimum distance, smaller value, and it's gonna, with a smaller distance gap, you will see it's starting to have like a cluster, which is an interesting concept. If you increase this to 5, once again, it's gonna distance itself, and you can have a different artwork that's more like a snapdot. Okay, and then we have this threshold value that we can play around with until we have we have the dots covering most of the image. Yeah, it's actually not too bad. You also can play around with this field minimum and maximum. Sometimes it takes a while, but anyway, don't forget you also have this red, green, blue that you can use. So image field, RGB HSV can become like a vector. So this is a field. Like I said, it's hard. It's a not easy concept to understand. However, it's powerful. Imagine like a field, like a gravity field or like a noise field that you can apply into particles or points. This is basically what it's doing. It's image field, but I'm using it just to populate a surface. So this is what I got. I think maybe RGB average can give a better points. Yeah, I don't know, not too bad. Let's just go back to Mr. Enterprise photo. So let's make this 300 by 300 again. Oops. Okay. Now we have this photo. Minimum distance maybe 3. Now it feels smaller. I might be able to adjust the value here so I can get like more resolution. But you get the idea. This is one way to create this Stipple artwork. I'm good. I just increased the minimum distance. Oh, there's also other options like proportional, radius field. I haven't tried those, but yeah, play around with this. And if you're you can also turn this into a cylinder if you like. So it's becoming like a totally different idea. It's not more like a 3D. You can print this out or turn it into AR. So yeah, I'm using this without this photo without permission, but it's online, and the price should be well known enough for Blender community. But anyway, this is how you one way to create snapdots artwork or stipple artwork using image field and populate surface nodes of Squarechalk in Blender. So thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.